Hey guys, this is Charlie from AltCoin Buzz, and today we're gonna talk about a very interesting project that has been mentioned several times previously in this channel, but in these times where a lot of projects are releasing their products and so on, I thought that an update would be good. And as you probably have seen in the title of this video, I'm of course talking about Internxt, and it's a pretty cool name, I must say. And this is an extremely ambitious project that tries to provide a lot of different services, but generally, one could explain what they do by using their own words: welcome to a new internet. And they have a really good and structured website that explains their goals and vision and so on. So I thought that we could start by go through it. And first of all, we have their vision. And they say that at Internxt we're creating decentralized services in such a way that makes decentralization and its associated technology welcoming and accessible to the general public. Complexity was once the issue with personal computing. We believe that we have the solution to bring the next, more secure iteration of the internet to the public. Welcome to Internxt. So essentially, they're saying that what the computers and the internet was a couple of decades ago, so is the decentralized technology right now, and they want to bring this closer to the larger crowd. Okay, so then we take a look at their mission, which is such a fancy word. And this video is a short one, and I think we can take a look at it. I generally don't like when YouTubers show other videos in their own videos, but anyway.
The time has come for an independent internet. One where you have the control. Today, it seems like it's all about sharing. But what about protecting? The parts of our lives most private to us. A new internet era is coming. One where you are the true owner of your information. We don't place focus on sharing. We're primarily concerned about security and privacy. We care about protecting that important project of yours and making sure nobody else knows it exists until you decide they do. That's why we're using the most advanced encryption systems. That's why we're decentralizing your files so that it's impossible to access them if someone other than you tries to do so. Join xCloud, Internext's first service focused on security and privacy. Join a fair, easy-to-use internet. Internxt. Welcome to a new internet.
Okay, so that's the short version of what they're doing right now. Next up, we have their strategy. And they're focusing on mainly three things. And they want to make a universal product in order to compete with the big existing platforms such as Apple, Google, Dropbox, and so on. And they want the user to have a seamless experience when it comes to the transition to this new technology, that is, from the old platforms to Internxt. And finally, they want all of their products to sort of be integrated with each other. So, now we can go a bit further into their webpage. And first I want to take a look at this, xCloud. So this is their product that provides a decentralized storage service, much like SIA, Storage, MadeSafe, and so on. And if we scroll down a bit, we can see a preview of their client. And we can also see that they have put a lot of effort into the design of their product. And I think that this is so far the thing I like most about Internxt. They have really understood that in order for the larger audience to adopt a new thing, it must be easy to navigate, it must be seamless and have a great user experience. And from what I can tell so far, they are very capable of doing this. And scrolling down a bit further, we can see another thing that they are promoting, and that is the privacy built into the Internxt platform. And they are comparing themselves to like Dropbox, who are openly not prioritizing privacy and has been under pressure from, for instance, the American government and so on. And it also says that it's more secure, not only due to the inherent security in decentralization, but also because they are encrypting the data as well as creating a redundancy upon their network. And they're also saying that they will be cheaper, and it most probably will because there is no middleman. And finally, they're also saying that it will be faster. And while I think it's a possibility in theory, I'm having a hard time to see that this is the case right now. But I'm really looking forward to see how they will solve this. So this is the product they are focusing on right now. But as I said earlier, these guys are trying to create a new internet. And that does not only include a cloud service, but they have a lot planned ahead of them, such as creating a serverless internet that can run applications upon the Internxt network and so on. But they haven't released that much info about this yet, and as I said, they are right now focusing on this cloud service, xCloud. But it will be extremely interesting to follow their journey and see if they really can pull this off. And also, in order to build all these products that they are planning, they have something called the X-Core. And this is their underlying technology that will provide the basic functionality for all products that Internxt are building. So if we check what they're writing down here, we can see that it's community driven, and they mean it literally. Anyone will be able to run X-Core at their computers in order to contribute to the network. And in turn, one will be rewarded with the Intx token, which is an ERC20 token run upon the Ethereum blockchain. And they're also talking about that since there is an incentive to run the nodes, the network will expand sort of by design, as they say. And also, if one node fails, there is a built-in security system that detects this and fixes and so on. And also, you will be able to adjust how much resources you want to allocate, and the network will automatically find the optimal host, and it's reliable because it's designed to handle a large amount of hosts. And if we go further down, we can see yet another example on their focus on accessibility. And in this case, it's for the one who runs X-Core. So in a way, they're not only bringing the decentralized technology usage closer to the larger crowd, but also they bring the contribution to the network, or mining if you will, closer to the larger crowd. And this is something that usually has been a privilege to ones with sufficient technological knowledge. So I think that this way they're doing this is a really great feature. But if we return to the features of X-Core, I'm a bit more curious to see how it will work in a more technological sense. And I think for many of us, we are tired of these general purpose words that only scratches the surface about the concept of the platform and so on. And I mean, please just give us some real understanding at once. But in this case, it might actually be a good thing because they're not only targeting us, so to speak, but they're targeting the larger crowd, the ones who don't understand the technology right now. So, without even trying to sound humble, I think it's time for us to let the other children come and play too. But I still want my curiosity to be satisfied with how this is actually going to work. So I looked at the white paper and it was pleasant reading, but I was also a little bit disappointed. Well, perhaps I'm spoiled with all these extensive white papers of other projects with 200,000 pages and so on. But still, this was 7 pages long and I couldn't really find any technical details. Sure, it gave me a clearer view of the product, of their project, to the extent that I have somewhat explained so far in this video, but not as nearly as much as I want in order to actually invest in a major way at least. However, luckily, myself and another AltCoin boss member called Philip are going to have an interview with the founder of Internxt tomorrow. So I asked him beforehand if there was any more resources to be found on the matter of technical debt, and he said that in conjunction with their coming alpha release at the 27th of February, they will also update their white paper with the technical part, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. So, if you want to hear more about this project, I really recommend you guys to listen to our podcast tomorrow with the founder, and you'll be able to find it on iTunes or at our website altcoinbus.io, or we will probably post it on Twitter as well. So anyway, speaking of the founder, let's check out their team. So the size of the team is like medium, and they're about 10 guys, and they're led by their CEO and founder, Fran Villalba Segarra. And he's only 20 or 21 years old, but have managed to do quite a few things actually. He's been an intern at the mobile company OnePlus and started its own company called OneSite that creates websites. And it's also been featured as Forbes 30 Under 30 2018, which is pretty cool. And then we have this guy, Alex Tecart Ramos, and he's also a pretty young guy, but it's also been featured in Forbes 30 Under 30 2017, and he's acting as a technical advisor. So I won't go through all of them, but I can say that I think that this team has what it takes to pull this off. It's not the strongest I've seen, but they have a lot of individual expertise, but not that much experience with the blockchain and decentralized technologies. However, it of course depends on what you compare with. You cannot always have the best of the best with exactly the right experience. And there is only ones of Vitalik and Hitler Shu and Charles Hodgkinson and so on. But the real question is, of course, do you think that they can pull this off? Personally, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, I must say that I think so. But what I would like to see is a few more experienced advisors. With this kind of potential that this project has, I don't think that it would be that hard for them to get some more experienced advisors on the team. Alright, so now we can take a look at their market cap. So first we take a look at their market, so we have that out of the way. And the token is available at CoinExchange, Yobit, Mechatrox, and of course ETH Delta. But now, if we take a look at the price, we can almost see, and I must almost say, incredible opportunity. Because the token is now worth $8, but look at that circulating supply, and look at that market cap. $5 million market cap and 600,000 tokens. And I'm not a financial advisor, do your own diligence and so on, blah blah blah. Now that said, but if we can get even a little bit of that hype that has been the recent 3 months or so, and Internxt follows that trend, these guys could easily get to 100 million market cap. And that's a 20x gain. And also, I really hate to hype things, but depending on how the Bitcoin price turns out, this might be the last time that this token is at these prices. Because if we look at their roadmap, we can see that in February, as I said before, the 27th of February, they will launch their xCloud alpha version. And from what I've gathered, this means that you will actually be able to run both xCloud and Xcore on your computer. Probably with a few bugs and so on, since it's the alpha version, but it's a proof of concept. And if nothing majorly bad happens, then it always drives up the price. And in April we have the beta version, and in May we have the first stable version, and in this summer we have the official launch. And then I can almost promise you that the token will not be worth $8 by then. So, looking a little bit long term, if these guys stay strong on their promises, I would not be surprised to see them at around $500 million market cap by the end of this year. And I know that this is an extremely bullish statement that I'm making, but I'm not saying that it will be, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised to see them at that level. Because if we look at some of their competitors, we can see SiaCoin at around $800 million, Storage $140 million, Substratum $160 million, and Skycoin at around $130 million. So there's a lot of liquidity in this business already. And in the long term, I really cannot see it going anywhere but up. And speaking of their competitors, there are quite a few of them, both decentralized and centralized. On the centralized side, we have of course Apple, Google, Dropbox, just to name a few. And I'm going to take a chance here and think that most of you already can see the benefits of a decentralized cloud service in front of a centralized. But what's more interesting is of course to see the differences between the decentralized. So first of all, we have the cloud services such as Sia, Storage, MadeSafe, and so on. And they're actually addressing this problem in their white paper as a large challenge. And this is very good because it means that they are not delusional, but they're saying that they differ in a few ways. And first of all, they're saying that they won't be as completely opaque as their decentralized competitors. And what they mean by this is that while they hold privacy to a high regard, they also want to prevent illegal work from being made on their platform. And they will do this by implementing some sort of detection of illegal work. And I haven't been able to find out more information about this, but as I mentioned before, if you listen to our podcast tomorrow, both you and I will find out. And another thing that differentiates Internxt is their focus on user experience. This also regards other competitors such as Substratum or Skycoin and so on. And I'm not saying that these other projects are not doing this, but I would say that they're not doing it to the same extent. They're still focusing on early adopters, or more on early adopters that is willing to try out new technologies and so on. But Internxt, on the other hand, at least that's my impression, they are acknowledging that this isn't enough for the larger audience. And that mentality, if anything, is what I think gives them the most potential. So that's enough for this video. If you liked it, I would love it if you hit the like button down below. And of course you can subscribe to us here on YouTube, but don't forget to hit the little bell button so you get noticed every time we post a video. We're also on Twitter under AltCoinBuzz.io and of course Instagram AltCoinBuzz. And if that isn't enough for you, we're also on Facebook, Snapchat, Telegram and so on, and I will leave the links to all of them in the description below. Until the next time, this is Charlie, over and out.